What is going on, guys? This is Gaming with my review of Log Horizon Episode 5. And not only was this episode very informative, but it was also touching. So it starts off with learning that these NPCs have changed in some ways. Because at first they only said these predetermined lines, but it seems that after the apocalypse, something has happened. So I'm thinking right off the bat that it may be, some real life people have come into the game and become these NPCs, and maybe that's why it had changed, because it is possible. Because not everybody will want to be an adventurer and go out and do all these battles. Some people would like to have a normal life no matter where they are. So it could be like that. So once the episode actually, once we get past that, and the episode really gets started, we see that Sarah has come in contact with Marie, and she'll let her know that they're okay. So of course now they can no longer use the Griffins, because I'm guessing that they were riding for 4 hours already. So their time is up, and they have to walk the rest of the way there till tomorrow comes. So now they're going to set up camp, and they actually do a pretty good job, because Shiro, he actually read in a book how to do all this stuff at one point. And when they make the camp, finish everything, it actually looks pretty nice. And so we see Sarah, she's in the wood collecting wood with Nyanta, and this wild deer appears out of nowhere. And this deer did look weird because it had these huge giant ears. And then we see Nyanta saying that it was his time to shine. So we're wondering what he meant by that. So even though Shiro, Natsuko, and Akatsuki, they managed to set up camp so well, their food was still so tasteless. But then they could smell something wonderful cooking, and they rushed to see where it was coming from, and that was Nyanta. So obviously, he killed that deer, and he was now cooking his meat on the fire with them. And when they all tasted it, they finally got what they've been craving for, which was real food. So now that they had that, they were wondering how that possible, because when they tried, it wasn't coming out right. But with Nyanta, he would make it perfectly, and we learned that his subclass was a chef. So not only is this guy a master swordsman, but he can cook with the best of them. And so now he actually taught them or showed them what he does. He actually he gets the item the same way you do normally out the menu, but you cook it. It's something in the real world. You don't just make it from the menu, because that right there is what makes it lack the taste that you have. So now that they know that, we learn that not every chef can do that, even though they can master the class. You have to be really good at it. So I was wondering, I was hoping that there'd be a way for food to become good to them, and luckily now they finally got their wish. And so while they're camping out, Shiro was actually looking at Sarah, because she's obviously in love with Nyanta, and she likes him a lot. And they think that even Akatsuki is the same way, and they were trying to figure out how old she was, because she does look pretty young. And Shiro thought about those two kids that he met when he first started playing the game, because one was a shrine princess, I think it was, and the other one was a samurai. I was definitely interested when he said samurai, because I would love to be that class if this game was actually real. So he was thinking about how those two, they were just new players, and normally he kind of hates when people come to him, but he can see they were having so much fun that he wanted to help them out. So he used something called the teacher system, where you actually lower your level and stats so that you can party up with lower ranking people. And he actually taught them the basics of the game, and that's how they got better. But then we see those two those two little kids that he had met, they actually kind of fell into the wrong crowd, because we see that they're working with kind of a dark guild, I guess you can say what it is. Because this guy they're traveling with, he's up to no good. Definitely, you can just tell from his appearance that he's a bad guy. Because apparently one member they were traveling with, he got hurt. He actually got killed, and he got revived, but it's like the guy didn't even care about him. So once they get back to Akirabara, we see that these people are taking in these like little kids, and they're just using them because I'm guessing like they put all their items into some kind of vase. I think whatever you want to call it, like a bottle or something, and you got take it from them. And you can just tell that they don't care about the kids at all, because they said even though they're useless, they can actually find some good stuff. And then we see the next day when they're going to go out, Shiro and his group, they actually made it back, and I believe the boy name was Tonra. I'm probably saying his name wrong, but I think that was it. He hears Shiro's voice, and yet he does not go to him, and I'm wondering like why he didn't do that, because it's obvious that he wants to go back to Shiro, because they were friends, and Shiro did treat them right. And they also forgot those NPC characters that they had met when it started raining really bad that night, because even Shiro said that the NPCs were like definitely like humans, because they had memories, feelings and emotions, and stuff like that. So I was definitely thinking that they really could be real people that are just taking that NPC role. But overall, this episode, it was definitely good. I am hoping that that those two little kids leave that guild that they were currently and join Shiro, because it's obvious that Shiro will treat them right. Oh, and if there was one thing I didn't like, it was that Sirara did not get that level up, that huge level of boost that I was hoping for when she defeated Demi-Mask, in the previous episode. But as always, guys, don't forget to like the video and subscribe, because that really helps me out. But as always, you guys take it easy. I will see you all next time.